live at TradersPost for September 19th, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside Mike NQ Sniper Christensen, co-founder and CSO of TradersPost. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as TradersPost, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, TradersPost has got you covered. And today, we're trading prop firm accounts. Taking another dive with negative RR, which is went from interesting to more interesting to now crucial to Mike Christensen's success over the last week. Tell me, how has it been using this technique? Oh, sorry, your mic is off.
Oh, sorry. Let me just show you the numbers. I'll pull back. Let's see. 918. Wait. Can I do this week? Hang on. This week. There we go. Yeah, okay. So let me share my screen here. This is actually my report for one of my Tradeify accounts. And this will just show you this process that I've taken to set a rule for how my trades will be executed. Essentially, this is 5 points of take with 25 points of loss. So it's a fairly big negative RR, if you will, where the reward is 5 points and the risk is 25 points. From a ratio perspective, that would basically be 0.2. So the risk reward ratio is 0.2. The win rate, though, especially if I just choose like yesterday, I think yesterday's performance was a little bit better. About 65% win rate. I think on the 17th, I did a little bit better as well. Yeah, about 67%. At any point in time, essentially, each trade that I'm taking, I'm able to gain about anywhere between $100 and $200 in profit. And I've been kind of playing around and dialing in a different approach each time. But on let's see, I guess I officially started this on Wednesday. So Wednesday, I immediately picked up 830 in profit, and then on the 18th, I picked up another 532. Nice. Now, yesterday's approach was a little bit different. I took a lot more trades, and most of them were profitable. I also kind of broke the rule. One rule I had was the moment I take one loss, I should be done for the day. But I actually took a lot of small losses throughout this period, but still had a high win rate. The win rate is enough to keep me pretty confident about this. I'm going to give it another try today. But the thinking behind the whole thing, if I just choose that whole date range, is that I'm pretty good at spotting reversals, continuations, breakouts, even breaks of structure, momentum. And I have lots of different strategies that I've selected in the past that would help me start to build a trend and build a position to follow that trend. The problem is that, especially in this market, it doesn't really continue for as far as I need it to in order to make enough profit.
Right.
But if I'm just looking for a 5-point move in NQ, I can get that all day long. Clearly, I've spotted many of these moments across the last 2 days, just looking for breaks of structure, continuation, momentum, so on and so forth. And the moment that starts to happen, I capture that 5 points of take and I'm out of the trade. It may continue to go on after that, but doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me more is that small, consistent profit over and over and over again. So I've had one of the more profitable weeks across all the accounts using this strategy. And the one thing that I just need to dial in at this point is following a mechanism for when I decide I'm done for the day. So the rule that I'd like to follow is that, here, let me move this back to where we had it here. So keep an eye on.
Hi, Adventura Trader. Greetings to you as well. Always happy to see you here.
Oops. I guess I have the wrong window open now. Let me pull that guy out. Will that go back? Yes. Nope. Hang on. I'm sharing the wrong screens now.
No worries. I'm actually, this is the first time I've gotten I'm at 1,800 on one of my accounts here. 49% win rate, but 1.92 average win loss and a profit factor of 1.88.
Nice
I'm
profit.
getting green every day on this account now for 3 days. Let's see what today is like. And I'm just 1,200 away from passing this account, so we'll see.
Got it. Love it. I am, let's see, I think targets today would be, where am I at with this one? I should be able to pass one of my Apex accounts today. And then I've got a ways to go before I hit the target on this Tradeify account and the number of other Tradeify accounts. So maybe not a chance of getting to a payout this week, but most likely next week if I can stay consistent with this approach. So awesome. I'm going to give it a shot. I definitely feel confident that this is going to work a little bit better for me.
All right, well, taking a look at the levels for NASDAQ today, which asset are you going to be focused on? Is it NASDAQ? Are you doing anything on gold?
We'll still do NQ, and I'll still run the automated strategy on MES and gold. Those two had failing trades yesterday, unfortunately, but they both closed out at roughly, I think MES was down $20 and gold was down like $27. It wasn't a huge loss or anything.
Well, I'm not sure what to think about the NASDAQ because Bitcoin is falling. The dollar did rise. It's been rising since the FOMC meeting. Mm-hmm. Oil had a pullback and gold had a pullback too. However, MNQ and ES just keep rising. Look, I think we're almost going to get another all-time high even before market open here. I am bearish. When we're extended like this, I would like to see a pullback to 24,458. That would be my level that I'm looking at. But I need some sell signal on the 15 or the 2 hour before I even start doing that. So we'll see.
Agreed. Let's see what the options market is saying about NQ today. Small expected move, even with the expiration day. Interesting. It looks like the weekly DTE, because we have two contracts expiring today. We have the monthly and the weeklies. The weekly expiration, it looks like it's expecting a move of about 60 basis points, and they're expecting a range between 314 and 595.
Aventura says that I think BTC and ETH futures expire today. Actually, that would explain some of the movements we're seeing inside of the crypto markets.
Inside of crypto? Got it.
Yeah. Take a look at that. And thank you so much for, options. Sorry. Yeah, of course, options. Ventura was there yesterday for the Blueprint stream. Was just a subject I've been wanting to touch on for a while, which is how to make money inside of retail markets without trading directly, which is a subject I care a lot about because you're like, how do I use all this knowledge if I'm a terrible trader, but I'm good at other things within the space?
Right.
All right. Now we have 30 seconds before markets open, but I just want to remind everybody that we're using TradersPost software here in order to execute our trades. Essentially, Mike and I are having our signals generated from TradingView, and we're sending that through the webhook system to TradersPost to then connect to our prop firm accounts. There's all kinds of different defaults and settings we can have on our subscriptions in order to make sure that the right trade happens in the right way. And we'll talk more about that later. But for right now, markets are about to open.
All right. Bit of a gap open here. We have 26.26%. Nice bullish candle right at the open here. I think what I'm going to do is keep an eye on this first 15-minute candle. We'll wait just a bit and start to prepare this approach on 5 points of take.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to short.
Yeah, me too.
So what's fun is that with your negative RR strategy, you know what your exit are, you know the time frame you're dealing with. But how do you feel about your entries? Do you feel like your entries need to be fine-tuned?
No, I think that's what I was mentioning earlier, that I'm fairly good at spotting continuations and breakouts and breaks of structure, consolidation zones, reversals. And so finding the entries isn't really the problem. In the past, I've been good at finding the entries. It's getting a move to continue long enough to make profit on that move. So I think the approach here is, once I'm in and I've spotted the right zone to get in at, I just needed to move by 5 points and I'm done with the trade.
Awesome.
I don't have to be right by very much.
Well, I'd like to try a short here. I'll be brave.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to wait at least another minute here. That's actually bearish enough. Let's give this a try. I'm just going to do the little micros here.
Oh, just got break even on my trade. Dang.
Too tight. ATR opened up at 47 almost. We're down to 23. It's a little bit easier to trade, but that first candle was rough.
I still like a short.
Same. I'm not ready to put on a lot of size just yet. I want to wait a few candles here, wait for some of the initial volatility to flush out.
Yeah, 12 minutes and 30 seconds left on the 50-minute candle. Plenty of time to ruin someone's day.
I've made that mistake enough times.
It's red enough. It'll never recover. Doop.
This is strange. The MES chart here is showing that it's not open yet.
Where's
the candle?
On my TradingView, Bitcoin, NASDAQ, gold, and oil are not loading.
They're having trouble with the continuous contracts, it seems. If you go to MESZ, the candle suddenly is there.
I see.
I noticed that yesterday too, that the bid-ask lines don't actually match the underlying if you're trading from the continuous. It appears to be there for gold. All right, so it looks like there was an attempt at that sell-off there, but buyers stepped right in from the 746 line.
That's right.
Which appears on the 1 minute to be the 8 EMA. I'm looking at the higher time frames, trying to figure out what else it is. It's also the 8 EMA for the 15-minute chart. But we haven't closed above VWAP yet. We have 4 candles below now, but not a full close below yet. That's the first candle opening below VWAP.
So much volume. I took a trade at 6 a.m. or something like that, and it seemed so less chaotic compared to this.
What's interesting is this is a bit less than yesterday's open. The first 15 minutes of yesterday's open was 43,000 contracts. We're at 19,000 right now, but we still have 10 minutes left in the candle.
Right.
Okay, so far point of control is forming right at VWAP at 763. Hello. Are we going to fill this gap, Tom?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like it.
We're only halfway through the 15-minute candle.
That's right.
Picking its direction. So
I've taken 1 profitable scalp so far. I still have 2 open.
Ooh, another buy signal on the 1 minute. The 2-hour trend is just so bullish.
Yeah, for what it's worth, we kind of hit an overbought territory yesterday. And that's where we pulled back and we wicked off S1, which we went through that whole series. Then in the overnight, it seems like we hit another all-time high at 24,816. So right now it looks like it's trying to retest that all-time high. It could remain bullish until we touch that zone, that resistance line, and pull back from there potentially. But I won't underestimate the bulls. If they want the price to go up, they're going to make it go up.
Well, you were right yesterday about we were about ending the stream or something like that. You were talking about the all-time high being, an expected resistance zone. We've been seeing that in different sessions. We get there in the pullback. I thought it was invalidated yesterday when we had that big candle up, but then all the candles, it tried to break above all-time high, the overnight all-time high, and it just never did. It kept getting rejected. I was like, wow, Mike was dead right. Hour after hour after hour, the price kept being pushed back down below the all-time high.
Yeah, it's trying. It had one more sequence there for a little bit and then continued. The overnight session was relatively flat, but this open tells me that this could be a lower high. We just need to see this candle print a little bit more red.
Right.
Well, I would count that as 3 full candles below VWAP, and the current candle is also below. Another 30 seconds to print 5 candles below VWAP. Not that the number matters to me. I just need to see that it continues to stay under VWAP.
Right.
Nice little bounce here. All right, I think I'm ready to put on one of the negative RR scalps. Oh, no. I did a little too slow. Let's see. Want a little bit more of a pullback, and then right about there. Looks like about a break. This could be the break of structure. A little bit of a pullback first. That's good. That's what I'm looking for. All right. 5 points and I'm out. It's kind of hard to see. Let me make this a little bit larger. Done. All right, so that's $100 right there.
Wow.
That's all we're really looking for. Just what you and I look at all day on the screens. A little bit of a pullback. We know that momentum's still to the downside. And I'm trying to get in right where I think sellers are going to show up. And I just need to be right for 5 points.
How does the stress of it compare to when you're trying to catch the trend with the same size?
Oh, that's the other great thing. I don't have stress about this anymore because I've already accepted that $500 is my max risk for the day. Mm-hmm. So the trade turns against me. I'll walk away and go grab some coffee. I've already accepted it's probably a loss. So I'm not trying to nurse a trade anymore. It's either the stop loss hits or the take profit hits. I have zero control over the outcome anymore.
So what you just described is how I feel about options.
Gotcha. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Plus you get the asymmetric upside, and then it's like, oh man, what am I even doing here? This is great. But you know what? I've never traded a 0 DTE option. I don't know if that feels the same way as what people do here intraday. I wonder if it is.
Probably. I mean, there's got to be some volatility on price action there, right? With the way the options price changes.
It all depends on the IV. So if you don't have that, if you're paying too much for the option to begin with, mm-hmm. then sometimes you've lost even just by being in the trade, because you could be right directionally, but then the volatility can drain out. But again, I'm still thinking swing trading. So maybe that's different on 0 DTEs.
Right. All right. I decided to open another. So I've had 2 profitable micro scalps and 1 profitable NQ scalp. I have 2 more open now. 2 micro scalps open. And I want both of those to get to profit here.
I see.
Looks like there's a rejection off of point of control and VWAP, but I could be wrong. Oh, stop loss just got hit. I have 1 left.
Wow, the 15-minute candle and right back above VWAP.
Right to kind of an indecision candle here too.
Yep.
And this is the other thing I love about it. In the past, you guys would have seen me start to build up a big position in maybe 9 micros or something like that. And I'm just waiting for a trend and it doesn't show up and instead does this. And
Yep.
this is the other beauty, is I feel a lot better about how I'm controlling my risk with this new approach. Because this kind of nonsense will come out of nowhere.
That's right.
All right. So now what? We got to switch sides and go bullish.
Look at that. That 50-minute candle just telling a whole different story now.
Mm-hmm.
So if we close here in...
We said that we could probably try to head back to the 816 zone. So if we're going to print above VWAP here, then I want to start preparing the same strategy on the other side. So let me get my short.
Oh, look at that wick
out of the way.
On the 1 minute and the 5. Look at that.
Pull this down. And we'll pull this down. All right, so now on my chart, I just have the micro scalp line and the larger NQ scalp line. I just have to find a spot where I feel comfortable getting in.
Look at that.
Man, that's some momentum on the bull side.
Well, if the dollar is, I was just wondering if the dollar, it looked like it retraced all the way up to confirm a lower high. If now that's the retrace, and now we're going to be heading down the other side, we could be looking at some pretty bullish days over the next week.
So it looks like my automated strategy might take along on MES, but not on gold today. Gold's pulling back.
Yeah, if gold pulls back, that's another bullish sign for equities, right?
Yep. All right, I'll bite on a micro here.
For the long side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, the M&Q trade has been pretty much break even today, 50-50. So I'd like to improve my outcome there.
Wow, these wicks on the 1 minute are crazy.
Here we go, Tom. Back to the chop.
Now it's coming back down.
I was all ready to go long.
Jesus.
It's the same story every day, isn't it? It's very much Groundhog Day. For several sessions now, we've been seeing this, where we close below VWAP, then above VWAP, then below VWAP, then above VWAP. It's been making it difficult, but this is another reason I've switched to this strategy, because I just need to find these zones where I think sellers are going to show up more than buyers, or buyers are going to show up more than sellers.
42 seconds before the close of the 15-minute. Always the last 3 candles. Last three minute candles in the 15-minute just tells the whole story.
All right, I'm gonna let this trade play out. Let's see if we're really going long or short. I'll let the 15-minute candle close. Another 24 seconds.
Oh my God, what is happening there? Five seconds.
Yeah, that lost some momentum. It's not quite the bullish move I was expecting, but we're still above VWAP.
The story for the selling, though, is like just lost a bunch of steam.
Oof, sorry to hear that, Aventura. The rate cuts were crazy, especially the price action that came around it. I mean, all of us were kind of expecting, sort of an interesting move to the upside, and instead it pulled back the other way and then reversed the other direction. It was very choppy, but the only thing that worked for me that day was the negative RR scalping. Okay, I'm back to break even for the day because price has decided that it wants to head the other direction now.
Can't tell though. Young 15-minute candles
on VWAP. Yeah, I'm not even ready to get in until we can get a candle above or below.
Neutral on the 1 minute.
Same thing. MGC is doing the same thing. Fascinating that it's often that, you know, everything seems to correlate so much, except for, you know, oil can sometimes start to show a trend while equities are not. It's somewhat uncorrelated that way.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's not as much liquidity there sometimes where I don't even want to get involved. Plus, oil is such an interesting one. I'm really only interested in trading oil when it's at extremes of price. If you look long enough for oil since roughly 2022, you can see that there's a bounded range of price. For per barrel of oil, we really don't want to get it below 55, and we don't want to see it go above 75. So when you get to these ranges, it's a great place to buy and a great place to sell. If you're right in the middle, it just doesn't really trend the way equities trend. So it's not a great trade in my mind until we can get to those extremes.
Right.
I don't like what I'm seeing here.
Nope.
There's really no trade yet.
All right. My 1 minute just switched to bearish, but 5 minutes is long, 15 minutes is long, 2 hours is long. So I don't like that at all.
I do like where volume is at and ATR though. You know, what's more frustrating for me, especially with this scalping technique, is when ATR falls down to basically nothing, like 2. There was a point yesterday in which price had fallen down, or excuse me, ATR had fallen down to less than 4, if I recall. I'm trying to remember what window of time that was. It was so small that it's very difficult to take a position because it's not going to move quick enough.
Right.
Turn against you. All right, this is looking better. We're trying for the bull case again. How are we looking on the 15?
The trend is bullish everywhere, but I would love just a big pullback, but it's not coming.
Yep. No way. Are we just going to do this now?
Wow.
We're going to be in this weird consolidation range around the point of control. So from here, this is what I would like to do is start to look for breaks of this consolidation zone. So above 781 or below 747.
Well, I guess an indecision favor the long-term trend.
Excuse me.
All right, is the 1 minute candle going to close in this bullish territory? 20
Maybe.
seconds.
I feel like we found our orb now for the session. Oh,
whoa.
Wow. Just took profits on that micro scalp. I would have loved to have been in the NQ scalp.
Right.
That was a nice flash candle. So that's the answer to our question. It looks like we just broke. And what I'm going to look for now is a pullback closer to the AEMA and a continuation to this bullish side. But I'm not ready to get into the trade just yet because we're almost up to 814, which I anticipate could be resistance.
Oh, right.
That was a big candle.
Going long at overbought on all time frames is just so crazy.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same. It looks a little bit overbought on the 15 minute, a little overbought on the 5 minute. We're still on the top end of a little closer to overbought on the 2 hour, but not quite overbought yet. We already signaled that. It was a more extreme overbought condition on Thursday.
That's true.
Tuesday.
Right.
Tuesday. That's when we fell, and by Wednesday we wicked down to S1.
Okay, so what you're saying is that we can get full on 25 today.
Break the all-time high right now, yeah.
Right.
And it could very well not only pierce right through that, but punch another 50 points.
Whoa.
All right, ATR has come up just a little bit. I want to see where we really go here. I don't think I'm ready to take a trade. I'm up $31 for the day. Not a great profit, but also not a huge loss. I would have been short a little while ago, and I'm glad I'm out.
I love the idea. It was like past Mike would have been adding into not here, obviously, but
short.
It's so funny. I've had so many experiences of one massive candle like this, which is nothing, right? You look back on this candle 6 months from now, you won't even pick it out of a crowd. But your life can be over in that candle. And I've just had that experience where a candle just like this, a nice tiny bullish 15-minute candle, and I gotta shut down my computer and go apologize to my wife and go think very carefully about my future.
I know the feeling, Tom. I know the feeling. Especially with the way that I trade or used to trade live futures accounts. I took much larger risks in those accounts than I do in prop firm accounts. I'd be laughing at myself going, $31 is that really? What are you doing here? I would take, I think in single days, there were some days where I would average, my average loss was around 5,000 in a day, but my average gain was around 8,000 in a day.
I see.
And you just can't do that in a prop firm account, obviously. No one's ever going to give you that much drawdown. Okay, we wicked to a new all-time high there. Technically, that's 50 cents higher, but that looks like resistance now.
Sure, but is it resistance ever? I mean, it's such a bullish trend on the 2 hour.
Yeah.
We pull back to the EVWAP and then keep going? Not even?
Well, that's what I mean, but there's still a trade here in the middle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we only need 5 points, and we're 63 points away from that.
Sure. Well, now's the time to do it because you can get down to 783 in a moment.
I'm already in, and I already won. There's another. I love this strategy.
All right, I'm going to call you Mike Quicksilver Christensen from now on. Thank you very much. Just zip, zip.
Okay, I am going to add a micro. It's the micros that almost seem to be hurting me at this point.
Right.
Those are going for 20 points. And so far today, they have cost me $11. So I'd like to actually see if I can get a micro to perform for me.
Going back over all the trades that I did in the last two prop firm accounts that I failed, was all because I took too small of a position. I needed too much of a move. I thought I was being safe, and I failed 5 times more than I needed to. And then when I looked at the trade, and it did actually give me the short move that I expected on a higher position, I would have already been out.
Yeah.
Just like you're doing right now. So it's like the smaller positions sometimes can be absolutely brutal. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out.
Especially if you let them travel a little bit farther. But it's really, it's a question of what's your win rate. So far I'm still 50-50 on M and Q.
Well, with the negative RR strategy, you don't need to be right for long. That's the thing. Like, you have to, when you're the smaller the position, I have to be right for longer of the trend.
Right. Okay, so I'm still up a little bit more this session, but I've also taken 2 additional trades. I have a long on MES that came from the automated strategy on this chart. This is because we had a full candle close above VWAP. And then it also took a long on gold for the same exact reason, full close above VWAP. I'm going to let those 2 trades carry for the rest of the session. Yesterday, they were both pretty much break even. If you look at the strategy tester here, the trade yesterday was negative 15 on gold, and it was down a dollar yesterday on MES. So both of those I was okay with just letting play out because this strategy does do pretty well. It has a decent win rate and profit factor on both gold and MES. So I'll just let those do their thing. Now I'm only doing this in the Tradeify accounts because Tradeify lets you run automated strategies. They're one of the many prop firms that let you run automation, but Tradeify's rule is that you can do automation, but you have to keep your bots exclusive to Tradeify. So I can only do this on my Tradeify accounts.
I see.
Interesting. Look at that pullback.
Well, it's pulling back to the 50-minute VWAP, which makes sense. The question is a break from there. I doubt it, but we'll see. 2 minutes left for the candle. 2:30.
Well, I'd already taken a loss on the micro again. So now I'm at a win rate of 42% on my micro strategy. That's not working. What's my win rate on NQZ? 100%. Okay, I like the idea that this could reverse back to VWAP, but before we get there, we see a couple of bullish pullbacks in this regression trend. I might try for another 5-point scalp here at the top of this regression trend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sell the pullback. I'm going to stack a couple micros as we go, just in case it tries to fall. And then I've got an exit on the micros right above VWAP here because I'm expecting the bulls to step in there. And the choppy sessions continue, Tom. The trend is no longer your friend. In fact, he's entirely absent. Left our lives a long time ago. Walked out the door, said he was grabbing cigarettes, and never came back.
Ouch, too close to home here, Mike. Too close to home.
That was not your story. Come on.
I needed cigarettes, and then I just got lost, and I just had to leave.
Oh, man.
I mean, the story of the 2 hour is still bullish here overall. I'm not seeing any real bearishness.
Agreed.
So
I'm
like
still above VWAP, so I'm ready to let this trade get invalidated. Oh boy, I'm not actually even sure I'm ready for this hit yet either.
Wow, 1 minute just printed a bullish signal.
Yep.
2 bullish signals.
I'm going to pull my scalp trade off because that was too bullish for it to be a reversal or a pullback.
Pullback, yeah.
In fact, I'm going to exit the micros. Small loss there. We've got the MES trade still live. Gold still live. Gold's up a little bit.
Well, the dollar looks like it's done with its upward movement. So if we're headed lower,
This is a tough one. I don't like this this zone we're in right here. It can go either direction, and the distance between the all-time high and VWAP is pretty tight. So you don't have much room to be correct. Looks like I could have taken my scalp trade there, but I was a little too nervous about that bullish trend.
Well, looks like you're right to be. Oh man, I've been spending my nights going over the Treasury reports and the the debt refinancing that's going to be happening now from 2026 to 2027, and the liquidity drain from markets. And I'm like preparing for a bear market in Q1, Q2 to start. And I'm excited to be a long-term part of that trend.
What a time to be alive.
Huh, what's happening here? Oh no, that's still bullish.
Yeah, still bullish. I don't have any trades on yet, and I don't think I'm ready to do a scalp trade just yet. Still long MES, still long gold. Those will be in for a long time, well past our stream here. I usually carry those trades for the entirety of the session. You can see like yesterday's MES trade closed at 5 minutes before the close. Same thing with gold. It held it all the way to the close. So now I have to figure out where our next resistance area is, or if I think there's a continuation, and I'm not quite seeing it here.
What is happening here? Threading a needle. Are we headed to 769 or not? I'm overall bullish. Just stay long, Tom. Stay long. Alrighty.
Okay, is this I mean, we're still forming a regression channel here, and the Pearson's R is at 0.7. If this is a resistance, or if it breaks below this channel here, this could be another 5-point scalp. Maybe? All right, let's give it a try.
To the downside, wow.
I know, it seems crazy, right?
Yeah.
Let's give it a second.
I mean, a pullback to 769 is totally, that would still be a bullish bounce.
I don't even need it to go that far. I just need it to go down to 792.
Oh, I gotta get there. That's
I need
pretty
it to
bullish.
stay in this channel and then head to 792. That doesn't feel like it was the right trade. Maybe, but now the Pearson's R just went down to 0.54, and it's starting to lose its edge. If I'm right about it, it's because it comes all the way back up to yesterday's high, the all-time high, reverses back down and gets me out at 792 still. I'll be pretty lucky on this trade. So, okay, this is a good test of my wits. I could exit at any point, but I'm going to try to stay strong with this challenge of just letting the negative RR process play out. The drawdown on this trade could be as much as $400. And if I just let it play out and just hit that 5-point take, then it's still a successful trade. If I try to get out early and it eventually hits 792, then I've paid a price for a trade that would have been correct. So I'm gonna just let this go, because it's either my one loss for the day and I'm done, or it's another successful trade. The thing I like about it is the stop is above the all-time high, so it has potential of heading up to 816, reversing, and still closing me out at 792 in profit.
Which is, oh wow, you might actually get your
Oh my.
Your pullback.
Done. Another $100.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's nerve-wracking in a way that you're thinking, why would you allow yourself to be in a position with that much? Well, because it's my entire risk for the day. I'd rather lock in $500 of risk for the entire day. And Tom, actually, you're the one who made me really think long and hard about this. Your comment was, why spend the entire day risking $800 when you can risk it all at the very start of the day? I mean, if you're taking the same risk, why not just lose it in the first part and then you get you free up your day for the rest of the day?
That's right.
Totally agree. If I can take trade after trade after trade after trade successfully and actually pick up profit along the way, the one loss is my max risk for the day, and I'm fine taking that loss.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you did that. That is that is walking away with the explosion in the background.
Literal mic drop. Yeah, 100% win rate on 3 NQ trades so far. Now, they weren't all $100, and I'm up 227 on NQ by itself. The reason I'm not up more than that for the day is because M and Q has cost me. I lost $64 on those M and Q trades so far, and then I'm in the red on MES and MGC right now. So I am trying a few different things, but throughout the day, the size is really an NQ, and so I need 5 or 6 more of these profitable trades, and I've mopped up for the day. So I actually think that there might be another opportunity here in just a bit if we're going to try to touch the all-time high again.
To short?
To short for 5 points.
But we're revisiting the all-time high here. Doesn't it make it less likely it'll reverse?
What's very likely, especially when the ATR is 12, that it will pull back 5 points before
5 points.
5 points is all we need.
Right.
The other rule that I've noticed with these prop firms is they want you to be in trades for at least 5 seconds. I've seen some of the documentation on many of the prop firm pages that the minimum time in a trade is 5 seconds. I think Take Profit Trader might be the one I'm referencing. My average trade time so far with NQ, even with that 5 points, is 44 seconds. So I'm well above the minimum rule there.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It feels shorter than that, Tom. But if I go to all trades, it says my longest trade time is 2 minutes, 2 seconds, and my average trade time is 44 seconds. So the numbers say it. I trust Trade8 has logged that properly. What is this?
Okay, so there's the pullback to 769. Are we going to get there? All right. So,
This looks like consolidation, and we could see a break of this. What were you going to say, Tom?
So you're doing the negative RR strategy. You have the one running on gold, and you have another one on ES.
Yeah, I have one micro on MES and one micro on gold.
So when you're, do you ever have to disable in TradersPost those strategies, like at the end of the day or whatever, or are they always running? And you never have to think about it.
The rules are already built in to where it only trades the session, the regular trading hours, and gets out before the close of the day. So I don't have to set up any rules specifically on TradersPost for the timing window. But in theory, I could go to the subscriptions and I could click on trading window and I could set one to Eastern time and then have it locked in between session open and session close. But fortunately, it's already coded into my Pine script, so I don't have to do that here.
Awesome.
But yeah, good call out on a TradersPost feature there. Interesting, Tom. What are we doing here? Are we bouncing off of VWAP?
Well, all of this pullback here is like a bullish pullback. So I'm basically adding one contract at every level here.
Okay, how's that going?
Long. Okay.
It's a little sideways at the moment, so I don't imagine it's going to be a ton of profit yet. Oh, wow. Look at that. Nice bounce off of VWAP. Engulfing candle off the last.
It pulled back to, when it pulls back to 15-minute VWAP, I'm like nervous about that. I would feel way more confident if we bounced off of 769. I really wish we were down there.
All right. Point of control has now been lifted. Some volume has printed there. So point of control is now at 794.
How reliable have you found point of control, like throughout a session?
It's effectively like another form of VWAP, where we're just filling buckets of volume at each price point. And it's helpful to understand where traders have showed up for most of the session so far. So I find it to be very similar to VWAP, but it doesn't care about price. It cares more about where volume has arrived at price. And when I see movements in point of control changing like that, that tells me where I can expect price to break from that zone or consolidate at that zone. And right now it's obviously consolidating. So I want to see a break of this structure so far, which has now gone sideways. You know, this whole zone here from this top candle is now pretty much sideways. I want to see a break below 772 or a break above 809 before I'm ready to get involved again. So I use it for a few different reasons, just to understand where resistance might be or where consolidation might show up.
I used to use it only to see what the POC was for the previous session. There's something in me that I hate seeing develop in signals.
So I do that as well. And I know that right now POC from the previous day is at 751. And we already attempted a bounce off of that zone and EVWAP in today's session. And that ended up proving to be helpful. But I found that, excuse me, yesterday's high and low tends to be a little more helpful than yesterday's POC.
I see. All right.
Well, do you want to call it from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens there. I did want to ask you one last question. I never see you draw flag patterns, pennants, bullish flags, anything like that on the chart. You're a linear regression guy.
I like linear regression. That is my pattern. That's effectively trendline trading for me. The difference is that it's measured. The measurement of that regression channel is based on the distribution of price against time and the relationship between the two. In the past, when I've built quantitative models to try to predict forward price, it's always been based on basically standard deviation of rolling price. And I appreciate any type of statistical model that measures price in that way. I'm not really a fan of the traditional technical analysis patterns that people have obsessed about for the last 50 years. I've even gone through the CMT program and had to take tests to know how to identify them. But I'm still not as much of a fan of them as many people are. And the real reason for that is that the longer I've traded, the more I've traded, the more I realize that those patterns, while they can be helpful to identifying support and resistance, I already know where support and resistance is because we look at it every single day, all day long. We know where our key levels are. I don't really need the patterns to understand what's happening to price. And at the end of the day, what matters more than anything is what price is saying. What's price action doing rather than how is the pattern forming properly. And I definitely hate getting wrapped up in people's arguments about whether a Head and Shoulders has a proper shoulder or something like that. That's just, now we're getting too into the weeds. It's just not even worth it, guys.
Fair enough. All right, so we'll leave that there. We'll be back next Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more trading. Until then, make sure you go to TradersPost.io in order to sign up. Use the coupon code at the bottom of the screen in order to get 20% off your plan, including add-ons. So people who are already signed up can also take advantage. But I'd like to wish you guys happy trading. Bye, folks.
Cheers, everyone.